ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my home studio in the RV. And behind me is a green screen that's homemade, and we're about to find out if this actually works. So, I'd like you to think about a song, I believe it was from the 80s, and it goes something like this. Yeah, except replace the word boom 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 with doom doom doom. They don't call me Dr. Doom for nothing. Dr. Doom has been talking since the very earliest, about 2007, when he woke up from his sleep, the illusion, and decided he has found some important things, seen things changing very rapidly, tried to tell friends, family, other people. Everyone looks at him like he's crazy. So he purposely waited till 2009, October 2009, to join Facebook, tell all my friends and family, mostly friends and people that I've grew up with for, throughout the years, I'm only here to wake you up. There's very important things you don't need to bring to your attention. I'm not here to play the little Facebook game of, the nonsense that people talk about daily. So I told them then, get some silver. You gotta get some silver. Gold or silver, but specifically you want silver, and I explain why. Did they listen? No. 2 friends listened, at least on Facebook. I had 2, 3 people at work listen. They are very happy right now, because last year, when I begged and pleaded with people in 2009, again, end of 2009, to get some, everyone thought I was crazy, you're dumb, blah, 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 the dollar's not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, we're going to see. So here I am, not even a year later, close to a year later. Matter of fact, well, it is, another day or so, it'll be October, and I think that's just when I joined Facebook. So a year later, 30% increase, profit, etc. of gold and silver. There is no income tax paid. There are no sales tax paid. Nothing. You sell it, no one knows about it, you get the cash and run. Come January 1st, 2012, the government decides, well, we know where this is going. Gold and silver is going to skyrocket, so we're going to make sure we start taxing people, and they're going to pay income on it. Which is better than them saying, well, we're going to try confiscating it again. So I'll take that. And even in 2012, if silver is a few $100s an ounce compared to $22 right now, do you think I really care about paying some income tax or not? I'll gladly pay it. Fine. So Dr. Doom is going to read you some interesting news today. Okay. Probably the most interesting thing in this week's Fed balance sheet update is that treasuries held by the Fed, in other words, treasury bonds, that other countries should be buying, held by the Fed are now $812 billion, an increase of $7 billion from the week before, which those who follow the FRBYN's almost daily POMO liquidity explosion know all too well. Indicatively, Japan owns $821 billion, and China has $847 billion. We believe that within 1 week, the Fed will surpass Japan as the second largest holder of treasury bonds, and China, the current top holder of all of our debt, in just over 1 month. The Federal Reserve is about to own more treasury bonds from the United States government, our debt, than any other country out there. And China was the big boy forever. Not anymore. I've mentioned this many times. I told you what was going to happen, and I told you over and over again, I'm not a psychic. I'm not the one who figured all this out by myself, and I get all the credit. I found some very reliable sources. One is the Webbot, sorry to say. The second is Lindsey Williams. I've explained it many times. He said China is going to be the king. First world country, here comes China. Third world country, here comes the United States of America. And by 2011, the dollar will have devalued 30 to 50%, according to Lindsey Williams, his friend, the oil elite executive, retired, whatever, who has not been wrong yet. And when you read what I just read to you today, from today, you can see where the dollar is going to go in a hurry. It's already in the upper mid-70s now. 78, 77, it's touching around those levels. there's not going to be another TARP. There's not going to be another bailout. It's time to buckle up. And everyone out there spending like it's just nothing and just living the daily sheep of life, even though they're telling you to on TV, I can assure you, you better tighten things up here real quick. So securities held outright. $2 trillion, a decline of $7 billion from the week prior. Total Treasury holdings increased from $805 billion to $812 billion. The reason for increase being, of course, the continuing USD purchasing via quantitative easing light. The Fed has bought $25 billion in treasuries in September. Again, Lindsey Williams, this elitist told me the Fed, this time, the Fed is going to buy all the treasury bonds it can handle. It'll buy them up from everybody. It's going to be the net treasury bond holder, the biggest of them all. I just read you the report. That just is about to take place in about 2 to 3 weeks. They'll top China. They're already on their way to pass Japan. I mean, they're like, you could throw a rock. They're right there. And he said they will buy and buy and buy. And they will hit a limit. And when they hit that limit, they cannot and will not buy. The Fed. When that happens, good night dollar. And it could happen like that, overnight. Just like Argentina. It happened. They practically woke up one day, and it happened. Oh my God, how could this possibly happen? And it did. Their dollar became 3 of their dollars to 1 of our dollars instantly when it was just 1 to 1. And they thought they skated by for the last 10 years. Okay, we're starting to build back up. And now, here comes Doom Part 2 for them. It's going to be just as bad. There's not going to be a country that just stands by and says, you know what, we skated by this. The first world countries were already living in a first world, so it's not going to be anything new to them. But any other country above that status, and they'll suffer too because they're not going to be able to afford the prices in the first world countries of food and things like that. But any other country like ours who's going from first world to third world status by design, according to Lindsey Williams, and as he just said, the Fed's going to buy the bonds until they hit a limit and watch the stock market climb and climb and climb, and when it shouldn't climb, it's going to climb some more. And it's called the suckers rally. That's what he said. And then they're going to pull the rug out from under it. And it's probably going to be around the same time the dollar dives too. So, anyways, that's really all I need to say about that one. Here's a title by Cassandra Anderson. I'm not sure where this is from. Silver shines as an economic solution. Did she just say silver? Yeah, she did. Idaho State Representative Phil Hart authorized the Idaho State Silver Gem Act earlier this year, which allows the Idaho State Treasurer to issue silver medallions and make them available to the public. People may use them for any purpose they want and will have the option of paying their state taxes with this silver. The benefits of the Silver Act are: A. Silver can be used as an alternative currency outside of the banking system. 2, or B, jobs will be created in the metal refining industry in Idaho. Great. That's fantastic. Silver and gold are a protection against inflation for both the public and Idaho State. The Idaho Silver Gem Act serves as a model that other states and local governments can use. And watch where that goes. If the bill passes, which I hope it does, people can use silver with confidence because the government of Idaho will accept it too, as currency. And in my other videos, as well as other people's, we've been talking about how the silver has been removed as a monetary metal. It's no longer a precious metal. It was just used for electronics and other industrial uses. And from 1971 prior, it was very close to the normal relationship of gold, which is between 16, 20 to 1, somewhere in that neighborhood. And it was there. And prior to that, it was there too. So in 1971, we have, of course, the gold standard removed. And even so, gold still starts climbing and silver gets demonetized. And now that massive gap of 16 to 1, 20 to 1, 30 to 1, 40 to 1, today 62, 65, somewhere around there to 1. 65 ounces of silver, basically, to buy 1 ounce of gold. With stuff like this that I just read you, it's going to push that margin or that ratio right back to where it belongs, which happens every time in history when an economic crisis occurs. Doesn't matter what technology you use. Doesn't matter how advanced your civilization is. There's thousands of years of history of gold and silver. Bottom line, if you don't know history, you will be doomed to repeat it. And just because they don't teach you that history in your school books, by design of course, because they don't want you to know what real money is, you will be repeating these things. And you will suffer, as I've said since 2009, for those of you specifically on my Facebook page, you are going to get your butts handed to you financially. It's going to kill you to survive what's coming. You could have bought gold and silver. Both have been up 30% approximately since a year ago. Since before that, it's up 100%. When I started buying in 2008, 2009, they dropped the price down to $9.50, $10. I bought in so quick, I could double my money right now easily. Am I? Hell no. Why? Because my other source, the Webbot, says it's going to $600 approximately per ounce. I paid $10 plus the old Silver Eagle, so there was a slight, fee on that, like you always pay, but it was like $2 over, so I paid like $12 for Silver Eagles. I bought as many as I could at the time, and a friend at work did too. We are very happy right now. And everyone who's been telling me, why don't you just be happy, why don't you just talk about good news and do this and that? Oh, I will be. When the rest of you are suffering and you're sad and you don't even go to Facebook anymore because you don't want to see my face. You don't want to see what I'm posting on Facebook anymore. God, I can't go on there. I don't know what Joe's posting now. This is killing me. This economy, I lost my job. It's terrible. And now you're the doom and gloomer because you're crap out of luck. But me, I'll be fine. I'm going to sell my silver, pay off all my debt. I'll be living life. I'll be on there typing like the rest of you do. Yeah, I'm going to go to the mall today, if the mall's even in existence. Take my kids out to the store, had a good time. Oh, it's fantastic. Life is beautiful. I'll have these little gay quotes, life is but a dream, and live life to the fullest. While everyone else is probably not even going to be on Facebook because they're not going to want to see the guy who told them so. Begged them to do something. I begged them, and I mean I was hammering them daily. You got to do something. Look at this. Check this data out. This is from the Federal Reserve. Here's from the FDIC. They're closing banks. They're negative $50 billion in the fund. It's gone. When they hit $500 billion, they're not allowed to get any more money from the government. That's in the law. It's in law right now. So what happens if too many banks fail and they reach the $500 billion loan from the government to bail these banks out that have failed and shotgun marry them off to other banks? Does that mean the FDIC insurance is gone and you don't get any money if the banks fail? Maybe. I'm not changing it. I keep as little money in the bank as I possibly can.